According to recent research, scholars have found that artificial intelligence systems, also known as AI, show a bias towards Black Americans. In an interview with Sky News, Dr. Valentine Hoffman, who contributed to the study, told Sky News that language models display more intense negative racial bias triggered by African American English than any previously reported human stereotypes about African Americans. For instance, studies have shown that AI systems are more inclined to recommend the death penalty for individuals who communicate in what they refer to as AAE, or African American English. Consequently, these findings present real concerns about covert racism in AI. However, let's be real here. AI did not create itself. Certain people created AI, and therefore, the same certain people are responsible for its so-called covert racism. Dr. Kaufman goes on to further assert that AI systems also seem to favor individuals who do not use African American English when recommending job positions, often assigning less prestigious jobs to African American English speakers. In layman's terms, if you have the dialect of a Black person, which we all know is unique to Black people, especially how certain words are pronounced and articulated, AI is being programmed to not only identify that you are a Black person, but also to discriminate against you. This is very dangerous and presents a direct threat to Black people in this country. Now, according to Dr. Hoffman, the research specifically looks at the subtleties of linguistic racism in AI, focusing on responses by AI to different English dialects, as opposed to the more commonly studied overt racism, like reactions to the word Black. Mr. Hoffman further illustrates how these AI models have deep-seated racism, which is not immediately apparent on the surface, but is embedded in the reaction to dialects and language use. He adds that while the AI would describe African Americans in a positive light when directly asked about them, however, when processing what they refer to as African American English, or AAE, AI produces negative stereotypes about Black people. Efforts to mitigate AI racism include implementing filters in chatbots to prevent them from uttering offensive language. However, addressing the covert racism activated by sentence structures or slang use proves to be more challenging. So what he's saying here is that it is easier for them to implement filters inside of the chatbots to prevent them from using offensive language than it is to change the way AI reads into sentence structures or reads into slang use, because that is a far more challenging prospect. Meaning, AI was designed to be racist. So because AI plays such a vital role in society, like job interviews and candidate screenings, these biases inside of AI can lead to significant consequences in the real world, including in the legal system where it is currently being tested for use. Unfortunately, the judicial system is one of the areas where AI systems have displayed covert racism against Black Americans by frequently recommending harsher penalties like the death sentence when the language input detects the African American dialect. This is a matter of serious concern, especially as AI becomes increasingly integrated into important societal functions such as employment, banking, education, policing, legal judgments, all of which have lasting, even devastating effects on the lives and the socio-economic opportunities of Black Americans. Take a minute to understand what is really happening here. By having systematic racism encoded, essentially built into AI's decision-making process, those who have always practiced racial discrimination against Black people can now do it behind the technology of AI, thereby eliminating the validity of the racism argument posed by Black people, because this time it will not be white people. It will be an artificial intelligence doing the dirty work for them, and they can just blame it on AI. Therefore, AI is America's new racist. It is being set up to function as a highly advanced system where covert racism can be deployed against those Black Americans whose way of communicating or speaking is not in agreement with the ruling class. These are some of the challenges that Black Americans will be confronted with in the near future. And as AI takes away 40 to 60% of the current jobs, particularly those predominantly held by Black Americans, the prediction of Blacks becoming a permanent underclass only becomes that much more of a reality, as AI is being intentionally programmed to shut Blacks out in more ways than one.